Sure.
In addition to all the other things we get to discuss what I should order for dinner. So, yay.
Tacos.
I don't know. I had burritos for lunch.
Oh, well.
Something that
Well, burritos aren't tacos.
Right, but it's more refried beans in my bowel.
Or something that came to exist in D&D today, dwarven taquitos.
What?
But isn't actually eating a dwarven taquito like a war crime because it's a building material?
Well, I mean, I use that as an explanation for why our Minotaur was having violent explosive diarrhea, so...
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that on the stream, Larry. That's now immortal.
Exactly. You're welcome.
And yet still a better written fantasy story than The Princess, which we will absolutely discuss tonight. Jesus Christ.
Because I watched garbage for everybody else.
Yeah, I know you did.
And somehow doesn't have a drinking problem.
I knew that was garbage when I saw the ad, and I was like, I'm not watching this. They can't make me. And now I'm going to end up talking about it because you watched it, you piece of shit.
Okay, what is it exactly?
So, all right. So let me lay this out for you.
We're getting going. We're doing this live.
So it's a empowered feminist vehicle done by a young actress as the executive producer and the star about a princess who isn't saved by no man, who saves everybody herself with her violence. Okay. And the crisis is caused by her not marrying the guy her father asked her to marry because he didn't have any sons. And this guy says, hey, you made a deal, so I'm going to get a whole bunch of mercenaries and take over the kingdom. And it's
your mom's a mercenary.
It's basically a long, extended Die Hard, but in a fantasy setting, with like a very small 18 to 19-year-old girl beating up men.
God damn it! My cigar went out. Anyways.
Also, for some reason, she has a Chinese lady who taught her martial arts because, of course, she did.
Okay.
Well,
and they talk about male, toxic masculinity, but it's alright for the women to have that.
Well, there's that, and remember, only Asians ever created martial arts. There have never been any Western martial arts, African martial arts, or Mesoamerican martial arts in the entire world.
HEMA isn't a thing.
Yeah, that's not a thing at all.
So,
real quick, Larry. It's no longer June, so that means we're not legally required to talk about gay shit. So let's talk about something interesting for this first part of the show.
Hold up. I'm getting to the part that's interesting.
Hey, I was trying to do a segue, you fucker.
I mean, we have a lot of gay stuff to talk about, like Ezra Miller.
Ayrton, I'm sorry to say you were not as glorious on a segue as Peter Dinklage.
Hey, that was a pretty good segue. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying what, or it was going to be.
I'm just saying, if you've never seen Peter Dinklage going about LA on a Segway, it is a thing of beauty. It is like watching wild horses.
Okay, please send me a link. I need to see this.
So what were you going to segue into?
Oh, I was going to segue into talking about Rick's comic, but you still had more stuff you wanted to say about the princess, I guess.
Basically, what they needed to do was do Die Hard in the fantasy setting, but the key component of Die Hard was the fact that you cared about John McClane because he was a normal dude who had normal relatable problems, like his divorced wife situation. But instead, it was like she wakes up, she's been drugged, and she proceeds on her murder train. All aboard.
Oh God, it's not a Segway, it's a scooter. And he uses it everywhere. And he rides it with his daughter. This is amazing.
Oh, that's part of the comic. I'm now much more intrigued.
So now back to my segue. Let's talk about something that isn't gay, since it's not gay month anymore. Oh fuck! God damn it! I'm so bad at this. I'm sorry.
You guys are lost. You guys are lost without church.
we really are. All right. So the Canadian Shield 2 and more Rick Piper, it's good to have you on again. It's been a while since we've talked to you.
For sure. And
So
glad to be here too.
So Canadian Shield 1, that did pretty good, right? From what I remember.
Yeah, we got just over 3,000 Canadian, or just over 2,000 American.
Okay, nice. So Canadian Shield 2, I'm assuming is going to be a continuation of Canadian Shield 1, but I'm more interested in what's the and more part of this.
The and more is there is a second comic book that you can buy as well, and it's not Buckler or Ashcan this time. It is another it's another one of my characters, Snowdrift, as you see beside the Canadian Shield there.
All right, can I make this image full screen?
I just have to ask because I need to know. Is your entire model to fill out the roster of Canadian superheroes so we have more than that douchebag from Alpha Flight and Wolverine? Is that the plan?
Yes.
And Deadpool.
Well, hold up.
That is an excellent plan.
There is a whole lot of quality superheroes in Alpha Flight.
Oh, I know, but you know that one dude that wants to be the Canadian Captain America that's white and red.
Well, no,
like
he's
Guardian. Yeah, and the funny thing is, he was originally supposed to be named Canadian Shield.
Oh, so you just stole the name?
Well, no, I didn't steal the name from him. Technically, that name is public domain because of the landmass named the Canadian Shield.
Also, if Marvel's just going to leave it lying there on the floor and not use it, it's not really theft so much as recycling.
Yeah, and when I created my Canadian Shield, I did not know about that. I found out about it later.
All right, fair enough. We'll give you a pass then.
I mean, it would be funny if in one of your future books, the Canadian Shield has to wrestle with copyright law because somebody puts a cease and desist on his likeness for having stolen it.
Yeah, well, the great thing is my Canadian Shield looks nothing like Vindicator or Guardian, whatever he calls himself.
Of course. I mean, he is white and red, but I mean, that's just the maple leaf motif.
Yeah.
There's also the guy who's the Mountie, that's the other one they did.
Dudley Do-Right?
No, they actually had like a Mountie Captain America.
Oh, okay. Because Dudley Do-Right is also amazing.
And then, of course, there is Captain Canuck, which, not quite the same. Again, vastly different characters between mine and Captain Canuck with, I think his name Richard Conley? I'm not sure. I forget. It's been a while.
I mean,
Marvel also has North Star and his sister, who's a violent separatist terrorist.
The thing is that though those are, yes, identifiably Canadian, at the same time, those characters are largely Native American, which is the intent of their drive.
No. North Star and his sister aren't Native American. They're French Canadians.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's worse.
I thought they were...
Well, Canadian Shield is Native.
Well, either way, yeah, we're actually here to talk about Canadian Shield, not about Marvel's mishandling of characterizations of Canadians.
All right, so
to be fair, I just want to throw out there, any comic book where they think that it's a good idea to have a real-life political person is stupid.
Yes.
And the worst Iron Man I ever read was Tony and Justin Trudeau going 3 rounds in Tony's boxing ring. It was fucking awful. I hated it.
That hurts my ass just to think about.
Oh, it was awful because it was Justin Trudeau mouthpiecing political points and Tony going, "You are so wise." It was awful. The only thing worse was when Colbert showed up in Spider-Man. That was just fucking painful.
But, okay, anyways, let's get off.
I hope Trudeau becomes not a thing by the time I get famous. Now
that we're suitably disgusted, let's talk about the Canadian Shield.
So let's see. Back and ready. Hey all, so it has been a while for this campaign to get here, but it will have been worth the wait. Sorry, I'm reading at a weird angle. So first up, we have the Canadian Shield number 2 with a new artist on it.
Maybe you shouldn't do show upside down on your couch.
Okay.
Between your legs.
Okay, I had to switch microphones. My other microphone is on the other side of my desk, not right in front of me.
Right.
You fucker. With new artist Ephraim
Ephraim A. Crespo.
Okay, sorry, I don't speak Canadian.
Well, he's from the States, so.
with color me Rick Piper as colorist. All right, so give us kind of yeah. I was reading it word for word, but
yeah, that's my fault.
I assumed it was just like I said Canadian, but so give us kind of a rundown. Does this pick up right at the end of Canadian Shield, the original or first Canadian Shield, or
no? It picks up a little bit later. It's probably been a few weeks, a month, something like that.
Okay.
In his time, he's actually coming into a new city called Nikina, Ninkia, I believe is how it's spelled. Well, I don't show it there. It's not. That's the first page you see a welcome sign. You're entering the town of Nikina. He's just in the outskirts.
Okay.
So just before all this is happening that you see here, and it's a dark, rainy night, and he's just walking along, and then lightning strikes this building, which he goes to see whether he can put out the fire or whatever, or see if anybody's in there, and runs into this dude, the villain of the story.
He looks like the dinosaur from the end of Jurassic Park that shoots Newman in the face with acid.
That's from the middle of Jurassic Park.
Whatever.
I'm sorry, I had to watch that movie like 5 times when it came out, so I know all about Newman taking dinosaur juice to the face.
Acid, yeah. Well, and this guy is he can't spit toxic, but he can shoot toxic stuff from his guns.
Okay.
And then he has radioactive blasts that he can shoot from his hands too.
Okay, so now I gotta ask, and this is a serious question. Is the ear frill thing like your personal homage to the Abomination?
No, it was just I'm not sure where I came up with the idea. I just wanted to do something way different than what I had known because
I'm not like calling you out because again,
yeah.
There's only so much visual difference that goes around.
Yeah,
it's just that the Abomination was made by radiation. He's green. He's got ear things. This guy's green. He's got ear things, and he's radioactive.
What can I say? There's nothing new under the sun.
No, and quite frankly, good Cape comics are gonna repeat. They're gonna repeat the good stuff.
Yeah,
church is on the way.
I probably didn't. I don't think I had ever seen Abomination when I originally created the character. This guy's gone through a few different tweaks throughout the years.
Right.
He didn't look quite as good as he does now when I first created
cool. I mean, obviously, build yourself up. He looks better than the Abomination. We'll just say it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's the thing, too. He's a lot smaller and skinnier than the Abomination, where the Abomination is Hulk height. This guy is like about 6.5.
So he's in fact an antagonist that is smaller than the Canadian Shield, because the Canadian Shield's like I think you said he was 8, 9.
Yeah, 8 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy's got to sort of look up to the Canadian Shield.
Oh, I see. We want people to look up to Canadians. I get it.
So my biggest question looking at this is, does he shoot a gun that shoots acid because your prime minister outlawed guns basically recently?
No, because I came up with that long before Trudeau was even a thing. Or at least Justin.
I mean, joking aside, I am absolutely a fan of more atomic antagonists. I think that the heyday of the classic radioactive or radiation wielding villain has has been forgotten.
Now, I'm not exactly sure whether Toxico will be actually Canadian or American or somewhere else. Well, he's probably Canadian or American.
Okay, look, we all know he's American. We have all the radioactive plants.
Oh, we got some up here too. Well, that's half where he's going into to try later in the issue, and I'm giving probably too much away. He's trying to take over a nuclear power plant, and
right, so he can hold it to hostage, so he can get free medical care.
No, but just money, just money.
Okay. I thought Americans went to Canada for the free drugs.
Well, not this one.
Okay.
If he is, I've been ambiguous in that in writing his origin. I haven't even decided that.
Yeah. It's all good. I'm just being a shitlord.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. I don't mind getting my balls busted over this.
Right.
No, the boys got me started early because we're talking about awful things tonight. So I'm in a mood to like light my fire and say peace.
You guys should go look at my Twitter timeline if you want to see what mood I've been in today.
Oh, no, I know exactly what mood you've been in today. We're talking about chewing cud. So, but as you scroll to it, or as we're scrolling to it, tell us about Snowdrift. Tell us about the new character, because anybody who's followed the show for a long time, we know the Canadian Shield. We know what he's about. We like what he's about, but we want to know different things.
yeah, for sure. Well, Snowdrift, obviously, she's also sort of like the Canadian Shield in the fact that she's a bit displaced in time, but a different way, more Steve Rogers type. Captain America.
Okay.
She grew up in the early 20s, went to college in the 40s during the Second World War to become a scientist. She gets a job to be leading an expedition to the Canadian Arctic. I'm not sure for what scientific purpose or whatever. Again, I'm being vague. I
mean, look,
you haven't got that far yet.
Most people head to the Canadian wilderness to try and find the Northwest Passage. I'm just saying.
But she goes out for a walk one day, and then a freak blizzard hits, and she gets frozen in ice. Trapped. They can't find her. She's frozen in ice for 70 years. To modern day, because this is around the early 50s that she gets frozen in ice, and then she's found, as you see in the pages below, and the guy finds her and brings her back to his cabin and decides to try and unthaw.
Sorry, I missed my cue. I gotta scroll down. All right.
And he's doing some CPR there, and
wait. Is that mouth to mouth recreation consensual? Because can't you be arrested for that in Canada?
Possibly, but if you scroll down, you'll find out.
Ayrton.
Yeah.
If she's legally dead at the time, it might just be necrophilia.
True, which I'm pretty sure is legal up there, right?
I have no idea. I'm not into that sort of crap. But she's not dead. Technically, he did it after she thought. I'm
not quite dead. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I was trying to crack open a cold one. I didn't realize you were alive.
She obviously thinks he's trying to take advantage of her, slaps him, and he's like, "Whoa, lady, not quite."
I mean, I actually think I saw these pages. I think you put out samples earlier when they were in production.
Maybe. I've been coloring these on my.
Maybe I saw them. Maybe I saw them when you were over on Dario's stream or Dillard's. Maybe.
Well, I haven't.
Have you saw them before? Maybe. They just seem familiar, and they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the style. It's not. I wouldn't call it cartoony, but it's also not photorealistic. It's in the middle.
Dillard is doing the penciling and inking for Snowdrift.
That might be it. It might have been I was on Dillard's stream and I was watching him work with these pages.
And I'm coloring this as well as Canadian Shield #2.
Oh, by the way, also while we're discussing Dillard, John has survived. His spicy Latin blood defeated COVID.
Damn it! I mean, wait, good, yay. No, but seriously though, no, good. I'm glad Dillard's not dead.
Yeah.
I have no one to beef with anymore with the show since some stuff happened we're not going to talk about. But so, anyways, let's scroll back up here. God, my computer is awful. Let's go through the different perks you have here. So, the featured perk, I am getting them signed. So this is both copies signed, I assume.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
For $25 Canadian or $35, but Canadian plus shipping.
All right. So 27 USD according to my screen here.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have digital customers. That one's pretty obvious.
Yeah, you get to choose which one you want with that one. You know, like maybe you don't want Canadian Shield, but you want Snowdrift, so you can choose Snowdrift, or vice versa. You know.
Let me ask for clarification.
Yeah.
Can you get, with the digital choice, can you get both issues of Canadian Shield?
We were getting to that. Digital 2s, I'm assuming, is both of them.
Yeah, digital 2. But if you want to get say you get Canadian Shield 2 and you want to get Canadian Shield 1, yes, as an add-on there is the option of Canadian Shield 1.
Okay, so if you miss Canadian Shield and you're checking this out, and you want to check out Snowdrift, you can get all three of them. And what is that? What would that come to with the add-on?
I think that's like 2 or 3 Canadian. I forget what I put it as.
Okay.
It is, you know, it's
so like $7 or $8 US.
Yeah.
It's a value. Okay. It's solidly a value.
It's a value. You can't get a hand job from a cheap hooker at that price. You know, with inflation right now.
It's cheaper than a hamburger.
True. Customer's choice. What's this one?
Again, it's like the digital customer's choice, but this time it's a physical copy. You know, you get a physical copy, not signed. You know, and you can choose either Canadian Shield 2 or Snowdrift 1. And just like with the digital choice, you can get a physical copy of the Canadian Shield #1.
Oh, okay, I see. So you can get. So you can get one signed, you can get both signed, you can get one not signed, you can get both not signed, digital. Yeah. Okay. I actually like how you have that set up that way.
Well, I mean, it's very much to the customer's interest, which I think is ideal.
Yeah.
Nobody should get stuck with swag they don't want.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously you want all the swag, but...
Right. Well, So, I mean, like, stickers, buttons, patches, whatever. I mean, it's cool, but for me personally, I don't really care that much for that kind of stuff. I will say the bookmark that I got from Don Chin, I do really like that, because his last book was kind of long, and I actually used it.
Yeah. Well, that sort of stuff is going to be, like, stretch goals. So you'll get that swag if I get to certain goals, you know, like, you know, people that signed up early and are buying something, they're actually getting an exclusive trading card.
Nice. Before you get into all the stretch goals, let's finish these perks, then we'll move to that. Yeah. So name that firefighter. What's this one?
Well, on page 6, I think it is, this is panel 2, there's firefighters on the back of a fire engine, and firefighters on the back of their coats have their names.
Oh, okay.
For I believe it's for identification purposes if something happens, you know?
Yeah.
And it's usually either on the bottom of their coat or the top. I've chosen to put it on the bottom, at the butt, basically. But there's 2 firefighters that are facing, you're seeing their back, so you'll be able to see their names. Well, depending on, you know, the size of printing and all that.
Right.
So this, you know, you get the book signed, and then for $10 extra Canadian, you can choose which. Well, you can get one of the firefighters. You can choose the name.
And that's only 23 US. I kind of feel like we should claim one of these for church.
Well, I mean, the question is, are we gonna make the name Church, or we're gonna make the name like McBoatface?
Oh, we're gonna make it McButtface.
Oh, McButtface.
So the Lorenzo, which is 60 Canadian or 47 US.
And with that other tier for
Yeah.
the firefighter, because you're just getting the Canadian Shield with that one. Again, you can add on Snowdrift number 1.
Oh, okay.
Just in case they want it.
Yeah. So Lorenzo, what's this one?
Of course. Well, you guys know who Lorenzo Sleestack is, right?
I do not.
Well, he's a big supporter of the CG community or indie comics. Usually, when he's getting a perk, he's always asking for, can I get 2 of them in a tier? 2 of whatever, 2 of the comics.
Oh, okay.
So, in my first campaign, he asked for me to do that, and I'm like, okay, what do I call this? And I decided to just call it, the Lorenzo.
Okay, so just 2 of each comic then.
Yeah, 2 of number 2. Well, 2 of Canadian Shield 2 and 2 of Snowdrift number 1.
Okay. So
and they're signed.
That's actually kind of cool because you could, have a copy for yourself and then give them to somebody that you think might be interested in them.
Yeah.
So the traditional artwork.
This is you get Snowdrift number 1 signed, and you get Dillard did the last page of Snowdrift number 1 in traditional style. It's the first spot where she appears in the comic in costume, so I figured it'd be great traditional for anybody to get a great tier to.
Nice. So this is like an actual drawing Dillard did.
Yeah, a physical page that you get.
Oh, nice. So anybody watching, 272 USD
plus shipping on that one.
Plus shipping, and you could have a beautiful original piece done by Dillard, who is a fantastic artist.
And again,
that's actually really cool.
Yeah, and again, if they want to get the Canadian Shield number 2 as well, it's available as an add-on for that.
So, pretty much everything. You can get the whole series you have so far as add-ons with any of these tiers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Time for action. I'm assuming this is an action figure of the Canadian Shield.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting one built up right at the moment. But his guy's name's Rex Barjar. He's in the Philippines. You see most of it there, except for the cape. And so with this tier, you get, of course, the Canadian Shield 2 sign, and you get the action figure, and it's going to be sent directly from him to you. It's not even going to go through my hands.
And
that way it saves on shipping, and the shipping is included in that price, so extra money beyond them.
So that is $349, which it looks like there's already one claimed.
Yeah.
For an action figure plus a signed copy of Canadian Shield 2.
And that action figure is 8 inches tall.
Oh, wow.
So,
holy hell.
And the reason I did this, for most action figures, they don't, you get Wolverine and Cyclops, and they're the same size, Wolverine's a head shorter, than Cyclops, at least, right, in the comics?
Right.
So I decided I'm using an inch per foot for scale. So when I go and get my other characters made, say Snowdrift, she's going to be, 5 inches, 5 3/4 of an inch, so a quarter of an inch short of 6 inches, because she's 5'9",
Right.
And that way when you have your action figures, you actually have the right scale, somewhat of a scaling to them.
Well, no, I really like that idea, actually.
So before we get into the add-ons, I wanna put some butter on Cross's bun for a minute and talk about why I really like the structure
let me scroll back up then.
Yeah.
Here, we'll go to this alt cover real. All right,
okay.
Go ahead.
But I want to say why I really like the structure he's used for his tiers. I am a intermittent supporter of products, and there's a game company that I got on board with their product very, very early when they had a certain set of tiers, right? And I put down my money, boom, for the rulebook as a physical, the rulebook as electronic, and the accessories they were working on as electronics as well. They restructured their tiers after the fact so that it was, you can have the book and the electric.
That's a bullshit move.
Yeah, or you can have the book and the accessories, or you can pay for each thing individually, or and so on and so forth. And I was like, excuse me, I gave you money for one set of things, and you restructured it. And they're like, oh well, you can always just change your money down. And I said, right, but I paid you for this. This is what I wanted. You changed the product. That's called bait and switch. And they said, and they were like, well, no, it's not. And this is you were not assured of the product. You were paying for production, and blah 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 bullshit. And that's in fact why I don't give them money anymore. Like, it doesn't matter how much I like their games or their product. It's like, no, I will not support a company that engages in uncouth, dishonest business practices at the customer level. You've created a tier system where you don't need to move things around. You don't need to reorganize things. Everybody picks what they want, like a salad bar. And they just get what they want, and that's perfect. That's exactly how it should be.
Speaking of games, sorry, has anybody heard from Einbrecht lately? Because he was working on a Indiegogo game.
Einbrecht is like falling off the planet.
Huh?
I've seen Mechanical Matt a couple of times somehow.
I'm gonna have to message him.
Also, my lord, welcome to your own show. You're late. Fashionably so.
I must admit, this is going to get difficult. I was going to say, I must admit, this is going to get difficult for the tiers when I have 3 or more books. It's easy to do.
Church is here, but he's muted, so I guess we'll continue until he unmutes.
I mean, once you have 3 books and you have a stable income, I mean, the obvious answer, Cross, is you just get someone who is like your IP manager, that their entire job is to manage your crowdfunding
your estate,
for you, so you don't have to. Because you
can
focus on production.
Well, I'm not sure whether that's going to happen right now. I hope it does. Because,
hey man, aim for the sky.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, because the scripts are written for the next round. Actually, the scripts are probably written, I think, for the next 2 random campaigns already.
Wait a minute.
I've already hired Dillard to do in Snowdrift #2 for pencils, and I'm gonna ink it. I might color it, or I might get somebody else. I want to try and get something in there for me to do, but
right. Well, I'm actually curious. I want to know about these keychains. These actually look really cool.
Oh yeah, I used to have a wood burning kit. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah. I have a friend, and you might have seen him around. Mallet CNC Works. He does gaming sometimes, but he also has his own wood thing, lathe, and all that. So I got him to do these. I've got a few physical copies with me here.
Oh well, let's hold on.
Now
how do I make you solo? Hold on. No, not that.
Go spotlight, and then click me. There should be a box.
Hold on, I have to stop sharing this screen, and then I can. Oh, come on! I'm so. All right, there we go. All right.
Now he's cleaned them up. They're a little bit better than this one. These were promos that I got a couple months ago. I went before the campaign. I've just ordered like 20 of each. So And there's, my mom's using the Snowdrift one.
No,
And
those are sweet.
and
No, I really like those.
these are $5 each. Cool. I don't think you can. I'm hoping if somebody wants to, they can just do a double for the add-on. But if you want all three, one of each,
Oops.
it's $12, and that's Canadian price, and no extra
Okay.
shipping, no extra shipping cost for these because they're light.
Right, yeah, they don't weigh anything. Alright, let me... Oh, Church is gone. He's having,
Technical difficulties?
yeah, his computer updated, so his
Oh.
settings are all messed up. Alright, let's... What... Was that... Is that the... Oh, okay, the other add-ons, let's see.
Yeah.
We have some,
Yeah.
We have some alternate covers, so tell us about these alternate covers.
Well, these are the covers from the first one. It's just saying, like, as add-ons, if you didn't get Canadian Shield 1, you can add them on, and you, of course, I've got like 17 covers of Dillard's left from the first campaign, and like 30-something of the Canadian Shield left from the first campaign. So if anybody wants to get those, and I'm not gonna reprint those because I'm working on a remastered version of the Canadian Shield 1, recoloring it, all that, tweaking the artwork a little bit just to make it that much better for when I go to reprint it, because other people are gonna want it, right? And that'll hopefully make all this first round of stuff better. And it'll have a whole new cover too.
Oh, nice.
That if you know who my sketchbook is, 360 or 340, not Sketch Therapy, but I'm getting him to do the cover for that. So
okay, I think I know who you're talking about. What else has he done?
Well, he hasn't done much else. He's been in my chat. He's a decent artist. He hasn't been on anybody's campaign. He hasn't done his own campaign or anything.
Oh, okay. I must know him from your chat then, because I think I've popped into a couple of your streams before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been in my chat, Dillard's chat, Vic King's chat. He's all around.
Yeah, so I've probably seen him in one of those. Let's see. So we have an alternate cover for Snowdrift.
Yeah, I'm calling this the alternate fan art cover. One of my
I'm trying to center this on screen, but it's
yeah, it's hard.
Anyways, that's good. Yeah, good enough.
One of my people that watches me a lot, Elric Yuga, he wanted to do a cover, and he's a big manga fan, and I'm like, it's not the best art, but I'm like, okay, we'll put it up there. If it sells, it sells, and like he's talked about he's gonna get it, by the regular tier, and I said, well, he's thinking paying the extra for the add-on too, but I'm saying, don't worry about paying the extra for the add-on. I'll make sure I'll print at least one up for you. If you're gonna get it, I might as well give you your cover.
Right?
Why make him pay extra for his cover?
How Canadian of you, being polite. Now let's see the stretch goals. So if you hit $1,000, you get Canadian Shield stickers.
Yeah.
1,500 is Snowdrift, and 2,000 is to be announced. What do you have some ideas in mind? What are you thinking?
Bookmarks, buttons, pins. I'm not sure completely yet.
Okay, just some sort of just like kind of random standard swag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say I got up to I think it was 50,000 I said on the last campaign. If I get up to 50,000, people will get Canadian Shield number 3 for free.
What about a cardboard cutout?
Well, the cardboard cutouts, I don't think I can give away on any of the tiers to everybody.
But I mean, if you hit 20,000, you could put in a cardboard cutout, right?
Well, instead of a full size cutout, what you get like a 6-inch standee.
Yeah, an 8-inch standee.
Yeah, there you go. It's a little tiny Canadian shield that's 2-dimensional and flat and made of paper.
That's actually not a bad idea. I should see what the site does. Something that small.
So let's see the impact. With the funding of this campaign, it will help to expand the cross comics to an even bigger place. Sorry, I'm gonna correct your grammar as I go.
Yeah. I thought I got it right, but you reading it, I gotta go over it.
Let's see. Expand cross comics to an even bigger place than it is with 2 characters out there with books. And the more we make, the more it will help the campaigns to come, as it will help the next campaign to get out sooner and bring forth even more characters from cross comics. A lot of the scripts are written; they just need to be given a form, and this comes with getting more artists and colorists, and they come with the money to, and that comes with the money to hire them.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that when I'm done working on a couple of things for John, if that goes well, then I need to work with John and Cross and potentially other people to make some books. And while I'm doing that, we'll put me on editorial for Cross's campaigns so that someone does editorial before he goes live.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I mean, that's fair.
I've done that before. That's literally a job I have been paid for.
Let's see. Risks and challenges. The risks are small as we are doing a 500 Canadian, so 500 in Monopoly money for you Americans. Flexible goal, so no matter what, whether we reach the $500 Canadian, we will get whatever money is reached, and all who backed will get their books. The challenge is to reach as many people with this campaign as possible.
You're in a friendly show for promoting you.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll send you some editor's notes later, Rick.
Look.
Yeah.
All of this is contributing. This makes the Canadian Shield charming and lovable instead of cold and corporate. So to be honest, Rick, reading this out loud is a pain in the ass. But if I was just scrolling through reading it, yeah.
I get what you're trying to say, and I would just go, oh, he's Canadian. All right.
Real talk for just a second. Science. When you read sentences, especially if you're reading to yourself, most people only read every other word or every third word and get the gist of sentences. Active reading is actually very difficult for your brain. So absolutely, most people reading this will not even notice. They'll either get what you're saying or they'll go right over it. It's only noticeable when we're trying to read it aloud like assholes.
Yeah. Well, it just means like you said, I'm gonna go back hopefully after tonight and reread it and try and make it sound better. You know, like the problem is I even got my mom to read this beforehand, and usually she's better at correcting my grammar. It's like, this sounds good.
So some advice: read it out loud.
Yeah.
So let's see other ways you can help. As always, if you can afford to buy, you believe in this product. There should be a comma there. You can get the word out there about this project and help to get more eyes on this campaign by sharing it out and telling people in person about it as well. And again, seriously, folks, anybody listening, I'm not watching the stream at the moment because, I'm doing producer shit.
I mean, we hope people are watching.
We had Chad in here earlier, Chad Milton, but I don't know if he's stuck around.
There is, if you mute it before playing it, that does a roundabout for the thing, and you see the shield.
Oh yeah, let's check that out. Hold on, let me mute that. Oh, look at that. Hold on, all right, look at that, guys.
And you see the cape in the background there.
This is the action figure they're getting, right? With that one.
Yeah.
Tier.
And he has exchangeable hands.
Dude, that is awesome.
Wow.
Wow.
My actual question is, should people buy 2 so they can keep one mint in box? That's the answer.
Yes.
Well,
should they buy 2?
Well, I doubt that mint in the box would be like mint in the box for the other ones, because this is probably going to come in like a cardboard box that you can't see through. So.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you buy 2, one you open so you can like display it or play with it or whatever, and the other one you just keep in the box and you like put on a shelf, and then someday when Cross Comics is a multinational megacorp with lots and lots of products, you're like, hey, I've got a Year Zero Cross Comics Canadian Shield action figure, rare in-box mint, and it's like, you just go to eBay and get all the money.
Yeah.
That's
really how that works.
That is really cool. And you said this is really coming from some guy in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe Tank Ferret put me on to him. His name's Rex Barjar. It's Barja.
Hold on. I'm gonna pause it here. That is so cool. Wow.
Something I hadn't noticed before, just because I haven't looked at a great deal of Canadian Shield art, but you can really see in the figure is that his mask is actually a mask. It's not like an 80s style my face is my mask type deal, but actually there's cloth and lines and whatnot where it drapes. That's amazing.
Hold on, I'm trying to go back a bit.
We have to go back, Ayrton.
All right. So you can see his hands in this video.
Yeah.
Rick wasn't lying when he said this action figure is to scale. Look at how big that is.
Yeah, well, I gave him a whole bunch of pictures, and I specifically said, this guy has a Hulk build.
See, Ayrton can attest, I have played with action figures on stream before because we were talking about something so boring I had nothing better to do with my time. And I can just see, like, taking my little 80s, 90s era G.I. Joes and fighting the Canadian Shield and just having their head fit in the palm of his hand because his hands are huge. Like, this is solidly something a kid would want if this was in a store.
Yeah, like he's doing a pretty good job. There's a couple minor things that I could nitpick over, but
I mean, quite frankly, I really wish Church was not having some tech problems right now because Church has kids. He could tell us.
He would be going crazy over this.
But here's the thing: he could tell us if his kids would want this. That's the thing. He has the actual carpet grub experience that you.
I'm gonna get out of full screen. Let's see. I have to scroll back down.
And later, when we're off air, you guys should watch it with the music.
so $349, guys, and you can get this custom-made action figure. That's fantastic.
I mean, look at the biggest problem I see, and it's not a problem, Cross, is. Like, you don't have an action figure for the antagonist from the new issue.
Yeah.
So it's like, who's my Canadian Shield going to fight?
all your other action figures, at this point, I think more people are just going to display it.
I mean, yeah, but I want to pose them dynamically against. I mean, I guess I can use my regular action figures. But
no, so Rune, to be fair,
yeah.
And no shade on you, Cross, bringing up another creator. But if Don Chin could release a set of action figures of the adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters, I would buy those in a heartbeat just to put on my shelf. I don't care.
Absolutely.
This stuff like this is fantastic. No, I love how you're doing this action figure thing. You know, the kid and nerd in me. Even though I kind of find I kind of find a lot of like swag stuff cringe, right? Like I see guys out walking around with like Star Wars and Marvel T-shirts. I'm like, come on, you're 34. You know, you don't need to be wearing that going out.
Hey,
but I've
got stuff like that on my Redbubble and my Teespring, and people want to get that, you know.
But stuff like this, an action figure, I would totally display. I have a Paul McCartney with the glove from the Yellow Submarine cartoon movie.
Yeah.
I have a mint condition still in the packaging, one of those sitting on my shelf that I found at a flea market. So I totally get this. This is awesome.
Well, the other thing that makes me think people want to display it more than anything, because it is a high ticket price item. You know, as much as, you know, I'm probably going to play with mine. Oh, man. But, well, I'll play with a bit. I'll show, you know, every so often on stream. But it is going to go up on my shelf over here that I have my toys on. You know, it'll be the thing that I display. You know, heck, I'm going to take it to Comic-Cons with me and put it out, you know, for people to see.
I mean,
that'd be awesome.
Hey, look, you've got a good chance. DC's not going to Comic-Con anymore. But three things real quick.
I would love to get this down to a price where any you know, kid could afford, you know, but, you know.
But no, $349 though for what you're getting, and you know where you're at as far as creator wise, that's not a bad price. Like what were the Cyberfrog action figures at? Like $50 a piece or something like that.
Well, here's the thing. There's three things real quick. One, John and I have had a discussion about this. We had a stream where we discussed, is swag worth it or is swag a scam? Because we generally agree with you, Ayrton. Most times, like, swag is shit. But
it's cringe.
This is good value swag, though. Like, this is something I want to display and show people. This isn't like, and if you buy my book, you get a button, and the button is the size of a nickel.
Right.
And it's like... You know, it's not the kind of stuff that they give away for free to suckers on Free Comic Book Day.
Right. Which and some of that may be from my minimalist mentality. Like I try, like the clothes I wear and stuff like that. I try and be I try to be not noticeable to somebody if I'm walking down the street. If that makes sense.
Well,
I'm never gonna put a pin on my jacket because somebody might notice it and remember it.
Well, that's the second thing, is that I have 3 shirts. I have multiple shirts total, but I have 3 shirts I can't wear anymore. 2 of them are for rock bands. Alchemy and Megadeth, respectively. The third one is a Sonic the Hedgehog shirt, because back in '92 I was a kid and I liked Sonic the Hedgehog. But the important thing is like, I wore them... I also have a Predator shirt, come to think of it, like the movie Predator. I wore them until they were unwearable, and then I kept them because I didn't want to get rid of them, because I love them. So that's real value in the sense of like clothing. When you're like, oh yeah, I see guys walking around wearing Marvel shirts, I'm like, why? It's like, it's not that they're wearing Marvel shirts that's offensive. It's that they're probably hipster trash, because you can tell the difference between the guy who has a cut, like somebody who goes to a bunch of concerts and has been everywhere and loves their jacket, and the guy that's like, oh, did you see my new designer Spider-Man lunchbox? Fuck you. Thing number 3, Chad Milson in the chat. When's the Canadian Shield going to fight the Canadian Sailor, Rick?
I don't know who that is, so... But, and there, I just thought of something. In a few months, you know, out of my own money, I am going to be getting a Snowdrift one done, and maybe I can... get a Toxico one done. Toxico's going to be hard. And then, you know, once I have them done myself, I've paid for them, maybe I can do just a campaign to see whether people want to buy them. You know, while I'm getting the other stuff made.
I have a suggestion. I'm serious. Like, write this down somewhere. Like, if you $1 million idea. Whatever else you do to the Toxic guy, if you get the Toxic action figure, make the jaw articulated. Okay, As a guy who likes action figures, I'm always annoyed when they like give me an action figure with a grimace and like obvious fangs, and I can't like make the teeth go no.
Yeah.
Make the jaw articulated. Make it so I can theoretically bite things in my imagination.
Well, that's definitely a good idea for sure. Especially with his jaw. I think it'd be big enough to do that.
Right. I'm not saying you have to make it like there's a thing where he has biting action and you push a button and his jaw goes chomp. That's not required.
No. I just mean, like posable. So you can bring it down manually,
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely a good idea. To make sure his jaw can move up and down the bottom part.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many parts of articulation are on this. I asked the guy and he never got back to me.
with that in mind though, let me just vomit this our opinion forth. Hey Church, we can hear you.
Hey, good.
Yay!
Hey Church.
But
we're always talking. Everything's awful.
Yeah, but we're always talking about all the people making comics worse. The politics, the extremists, the whatnot. And we're never getting a chance to talk about what makes comics good, or where we talk very objectively about it, right? No, this is what makes comics good. The fact that we're a bunch of comics nerds talking about comics, and we're talking about, oh man, that action figure is so amazing. Wouldn't it be cool if? That's what comics guys have been doing since day one. It is the ancient way.
This is the
way. This is the way.
Yeah. If my Batman and my Wolverine couldn't have fought when I was a kid, then I never would have just popped as soon as I saw the Dark Claw comic come out in '95.
Right.
Oh, and Church, I'm not sure whether I ever asked. Did you actually read your Canadian Shield?
I did.
And did you enjoy it?
I did. It was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Wait.
What is
this? A lot of the indie comics.
What is this foon you speak of?
Yeah, I haven't heard about this.
Well, it's kind of that feeling you get when you want to keep turning the pages instead of you keep turning the pages because you feel like you have to finish the thing.
Oh,
like when you get to the last page and there's no more and you're disappointed by it. That's what fun is.
But that puts me in my sad place because we don't get that very often anymore.
Well, yeah, I believe you're definitely getting that with the Canadian Shield. According to Church, you are for sure.
Canadian Shield, defender of fun.
Right, but what we need to do is figure out how to get Canadian Shield, at least 12 times a year, maybe even 52 times a year.
Right, look, if Rick gets to a point where he's making Canadian Shield 12 times a year, I want in that company. I want that job. I want that paycheck, sir.
Well, that is what I want. I want to do the monthly comics.
I will knife fight a monkey for that slot.
Now, I can tell you right now, I'm going to be a tyrant of a boss. But I'm going to be fun at the same time, because...
Look, it's simple. Just make your standards very declarative from the beginning. Give me a clearly defined deadline, and I will meet that deadline, because that's my job. That's it. That's all a writer has to do. Everything else is the creative process.
I want to reach out to George R. R. Martin and get the rights for the Turtle and Jet Boy comics.
And if you need any music related stuff done, Rick, let me know.
Hey, Church, real quick, because I gotta step aside to get my food. Interesting proposition I saw on the tweet today. Okay, you get $3 billion, but you can't drink anymore.
Okay, well, before we get to that, Rune, let's finish up here with Rick, and then we'll move on to our stupid topic.
I only mentioned because if Church had $3 billion, he could buy wild cards and save it from George R. R. Martin.
I could get the rest of the audiobooks produced as well.
There you go.
So Rick, in the last couple minutes before we go on to the rest of the show, you got anything else for us? Anything you want to say? A last push?
Um. Well, can we? Is everybody here gonna buy?
So I'm
Putting you all on the spot. I know.
So I'm going to try if I can afford it in the budget with the projects I have going on behind the scenes. I totally will.
Well, remember, it's only like $4 for the two of them digitally. It's only $4.
Yeah, but I hate digital so much. I want the actual book.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And I'm gonna want to get all three of them because I wasn't able to get the first one. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go all out. Get all three hard copies. It just depends on where my finances are. If my finances are good with what else I got going on, then yes, I will back them.
Okay. But yeah, like like everybody that I've ever talked to is pleased with what they've got. They're pleased with the art, and they're pleased with the story. It's kid friendly. Did you let your kids read at church? Did they like it?
Not yet. I read part of it with my oldest, but I don't let my heathens handle my books.
They're probably not old enough to respect the comics right yet.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
where I'm at with it.
I got somebody bought one after the campaign was done over in England. I sent it to them. They were like well pleased. They said they're going to be a customer for life. I'm not sure whether they've bought yet on this campaign, but I'm trying to make everything each step of the way bigger and better. This is a step up, and even the next campaign is going to be a step up from this. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and don't take this the wrong way, because I definitely appreciate the idea of moving above and beyond expectations.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, when you have something good, just aim to meet that quality guideline, because going above and beyond every time, eventually you're not going to be able to top it, and you're going to start, jumping sharks.
Yeah. Well, I just more mean the art is better in this one, I think, than the first one.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure, I mean that way, and this time I got Dillard on one book doing all the penciling and anything, another good artist. I'm doing the coloring, and I think I think the coloring's a step up. Everything's a step up. From where I was. Yeah, I know there's a point where you can't really go any higher. And I'm sure once I get there, I will know.
Right.
So, like that church, I am one of the boys. For my burger is bourbon infused.
Fuck yeah!
And church, I never got to ask you, what do you think of my little friend?
Oh yeah, the action figure.
No, behind me.
Hold on, let me put Rick to the solo layout again.
Oh shit! Is that a giant standee?
That is indeed.
That's a life-size standee.
Oh Jesus Christ!
All right, there we go. Move your head out of the way, Rick.
That's amazing.
All right, look at that.
So if you stand behind it, are you Canadian shielded?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. You probably saw the pictures on thing. I only come up to just below his his chest area.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
Yeah. I'm still flabbergasted a lot of times when I look at it.
Is that something you're taking with you to cons and whatnot?
Yeah, I'm going to. I just got it not even a month ago. I haven't been to any cons. Actually, I'm going to be at a con in Niagara Falls Hero Fest on the 10th.
So. Oh, okay. All right, everybody, mark your calendars if you're in the area.
And of course, that's the Canadian side.
I like that his pose is doing "Winners Don't Do Drugs."
Mm-hmm. and Dillard is the one that drew that too.
Yeah. So how much business do you do when you take Canadian Shield to the cons?
Well, technically, I haven't been to a con since I've actually, as uh, you know, guy be a vendor, artist alley, since I actually did the book, printed it up. Because, well, COVID. I was just at the end of my campaign and COVID hit. And it was like, really? So there wasn't much I could do for, the last 2 years. Say hello to my mom. So, are you guys still there?
Yep, we're still here.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're just absorbing what you have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've already got like 4 cons lined up. There's the one that July 10th. There's one July 30th that I got, and actually the 10th is a free table, and so is the 30th. This one that I booked through Pop Culture Cons.
Okay.
I got one. I got the table in Hamilton in October, and now they 3 times they've messaged me about getting it. Well, twice they messaged me about getting a free table, and
Nice.
and this time I took it for Hero Fest, and then there's like some festival up in way northern Ontario that I'm gonna go to and make a vacation out of it. Because
Well,
it's
if you want to post the dates coming up in the chat, I'll throw them up on screen. If you want to put them in the private chat, and I'll put them out as a ticker underneath, so if people want to check those out, if you have them handy.
yeah. Well, I can get that. That's the one for sure. July 10th, Hero Fest in Niagara Falls.
Okay,
All right.
Ayrton.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion for you.
Okay.
You need to start a con called COVID Con. And what it is it's a speed dating hookup gathering for people who survived COVID or were in isolation during COVID.
I mean, Rune, I told you I'm not doing the hookup thing anymore. I have a girlfriend now.
No, you're getting paid to hook up other people, not you.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
No, you host COVID Con. So
Oh, okay.
And then, like I said, I got a couple in Hamilton, Hamilton Comic Con, September 24th and 25th, and then one through this lower one, which tables are cheap, like $30.
Oh,
and
nice.
That's October 15th.
Well,
So
yeah. Send those dates and names over to me, and I'll throw them up on screen real quick, if you can.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Discord or the private chat here in
Yeah,
StreamYard. Either way, I can make it work.
Okay.
I'm sorry I seem a little unresponsive. I'm fighting my computer tooth and nail.
That's okay. We got this, Church. But Rick, while you're doing that, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
I'm sorry I totally forgot this was going to be a thing and didn't tell Larry or Rune that we were still doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
But you're more than welcome to hang out and stick around while we go into our other topics that we have for tonight, or you can peace out, whatever you want to do, man.
I'll stick around.
It's
always good chatting with you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, totally.
It's fun.
Totally
Maybe
stick
I can
around.
get a few of my puns in there too.
We love the puns, and you also bring in a different audience than we normally have, so that's always good too. So Larry, what am I pulling up first?
Well, I think we should talk about the series.
First, Ayrton needs to bring up Peter Dinklage on a scooter.
Oh,
I sent you the link.
You did? Where'd you send it to me at?
In the private chat.
It's in the private chat.
All the way
so I think we need to talk about Obi-Wan, because, I mean, that's a good segue from Peter Dinklage, because it has Jawas in it.
All right, hold on. I guess let me pull this up first.
Wow.
I mean,
right,
you know,
Peter
are short.
Peter
you're
Dinklage on
steal
a
things
fucking
from
scooter.
Everywhere. He goes everywhere on it. There's multiple photos of him riding it.
I mean, that's easier than that's easier than walking.
He goes to press events on it.
I mean, he lived in Vermont. Vermont's used to be its own country for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They think differently up there.
That is amazing. Anyways, so Larry, what link am I pulling up?
Well, we're going to talk about the Obi-Wan series as a retrospective.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to pull. I don't need to pull anything up then.
While he's pulling that up, there's actually while he's pulling that up, there's actually a great transition point that Cross Comics inadvertently did. He was talking about the con in Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. You know who's not attending a con this year?
DC.
DC and Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some stuff on that.
They done fucked up.
I think that's a good transitory topic while Ayrton gets the Obi-Wan stuff pulled up.
I mean, we don't even really need to pull anything up for it. But yeah, Go ahead. Let's talk about. We can talk about that later because we're talking about how they sold the CW networks for $0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Arrowverse cost nothing. Yeah.
Yep, for $0. They're keeping the Superman show, Lois Clark. The company that owns most of the CW local stations bought the CW network, and they're planning to make it for $0. They assumed the debt of the network, and they're going to.
So they didn't buy it for $0. They bought it for all its debt.
Yeah, and they're going to make it a more adult network with lots of procedurals, lots of reruns of Matlock, lots of reruns of House.
I'm actually liking this.
Oh, that's what you meant by adult. I thought you meant a little something different.
I was hoping for it. Maybe we get to see some Supergirl titty, but if we don't, I'm fine with that too, as long as Matlock and House are involved.
If they rebranded Supergirl as Super Tits, it might actually get viewers.
No, they'd have to do Power Girl for that.
Anyway.
It's still a version of Supergirl.
So I have the IndieWire article pulled up for this. How Nexstar can buy the CW for precisely $0.
So this hasn't gone through
they
yet.
haven't done it?
Well, it's got to be approved by the regulator because the local stations are buying the network, so that's a FCC issue. FCC has to approve it. Even though technically this will make it easier, and also Warner still will retain 25% of the new company.
By the way, guys, my computer might melt from running all these different web pages at the moment, so just fair warning.
Yeah, mine's not doing much better.
Why I tried to open up with Obi-Wan, we didn't require a link to melt your computer.
But we wanted to do
that's fair. I'm gonna close this out and stop sharing, and we're gonna go into Obi-Wan.
Really, the only thing I wanted to touch on with Warner and DC not being at San Diego Comic-Con this year is what I saw, and Clownfish TV has a great video on that, so everybody should check that out.
I linked it
for the full story. But
okay,
basically, it seems that Warner Brothers, now owned by Discovery, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yep.
So there was a reverse merger where Warner Media Group was merged into Discovery.
Right.
Where Discovery owns the minority, but they have the controlling interest, and the majority is owned by Warner, and they split the debt between the two merged companies.
And one of the main interests, it seems, of the Discovery executives is to stop Warner from bleeding money. And one of the areas where they're just constantly bleeding money seems to be DC Comics and the DC cinematic and television universe.
And the CEO views the DC properties as what should be the flagship property, and getting it right is going to be the difference between the company being successful or being a failure.
So, do you think this is gonna lead to a role reversal where we go back to a big three of Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, and Diana Troy, Wonder Woman, Or do you
yes,
think that we will
considering David Zaslav has said that getting a Superman movie right is the crucial first step for rebooting the DC cinematic universe, and I brought this up on the show previously when the CEO of Warner Discovery said that.
Well, I'm curious though. Do you think that same reversal will happen in comics, or do you think that comics are just dead weight at this point, and we should look for less and less of them by DC?
Well, that gets more complicated. He may sublet out the management of DC Comics. The popular rumor that what's his face, Robert Kirkman, getting grouped together to have the management and production of DC Comics licensed out to
I
them.
thought he was trying to do that with Marvel.
No, because the Mouse isn't in as bad a financial situation as Warner. The Mouse is in a bad financial position, but Warner's in worse.
Well, yeah, but that's because the Mouse prints money and Warner doesn't. Not anymore. They used to, but they don't anymore.
Well, no. Warner has done 4 mergers entirely on debt. They haven't paid off the debt for the first merger yet.
Right.
The Mouse lost 50% of its stock value this year.
Plus, COVID racked up a lot of debt for the Mouse. But the Mouse is nowhere near as leveraged as Warner.
Well, that and they keep putting out stupid shit like the Star Wars hotel that nobody wants to stay at, and a couple of liquor shots for $5,000.
Hey, just to make you feel better, it's not just Disney. D&D in a castle is a scam, and anyone who thinks that it's a good idea,
look, I sent you guys a link for like $100 a piece. We could stay there every night for $100 a piece in a castle and play D&D for a straight week.
Yeah, but just not with them. We play our own D&D in our rooms,
right?
Like fucking gentlemen.
With blackjack and others.
Yeah, they come by. They're like, "Hey, are you guys part of the tour?" It's like, no, we're playing real D&D for real players, not chumps who wanna fuck stars.
So, no, I've sent you. They have castles on Airbnb, and the ones in Europe are actually cheaper than the ones in America.
Oh yeah,
like the real castles over in Europe.
There's also some abandoned castles in Ireland and shit. We could totally go retake from the British.
I only bring it up.
Well, if there's one in Scotland, I could wage war on an abandoned castle and claim it as my own. I am a lord.
Well, I am also a lord.
And I am also a lord, and I have a kilt and a broadsword, so we're good.
Now, that being said, as soon as I told Moody and Allison about this, they promptly pissed in my Wheaties and went out of their way to prove how it's not a real lordship because Scotland won't recognize it. But on all the other legal documents outside of Scotland, it's real, so they can, kiss my ass.
Right. I mean, we have 3 lords on this show right now. It's almost like one of us needs to marry a daughter off to somebody else's son at this point for an alliance, right?
I mean, clearly, we are the Comics House of Lords.
The Lords of Comics. We need to change the channel name.
All right, I'm renaming the channel.
Well, the Lords of Comics Gate,
or the Lords of Failure.
No, just the Lords of Comics.
No.
Okay.
The Lords of Failure work good too.
Now here's the question, because again, Scotland will not respect these things. As lords,
or the
I don't
noble others.
I don't give a shit. I'm Irish.
Right. So my question is,
Scotland will respect mine because my paperwork says they have to.
See, technically, my paperwork says they
we all have the same paperwork, Church.
But that's the thing, is that apparently the Office of Ennoblement had a piss fit about this, and actually tried to put a stop to it. There's some stuff. I'll send you links. But anyway, no. My question is, since we don't give a shit what Scotland has to say about it, and we're all lords, do we have the power to ennoble?
I'm saying I can. No. Right. What I'm saying is we just get together and we just usurp these people in Scotland that don't want to recognize our lordship.
Oh, I see. So you're actually advocating that what we do is we do armed insurrection into Scotland.
Yes, like I said, I have a kilt and a sword. We're good.
Okay, I just want to know where your army is to do this.
I am the army.
I don't know about Church, but at least 2 of us are of Irish descent. Irish madmen storming into places and taking things is an honored tradition.
I mean, technically, Rune, I'm a Mick, but
I'm a McKeever, and I'm also Scottish.
Oh yeah, you're also a Mick. That's right.
Yeah. So
I'm Scotch, Irish, and German, so I'm just
oh,
all sorts of
hey,
crazy.
Wait a minute. So we're not only three Irishmen who are going to storm into Scotland and just take things, but we brought a German so we can put on the Reich. Excellent.
Hey, well, not that I'm going to help you, but there is a force Scotsman there.
We can have an alliance with Canada. It's fine.
No, I mean,
I don't know about that.
I've got Scottish background too. My mom's last name is McTavish.
Look. When Scotland tries to tell us we can't take it, we inform them that they need to rethink their decision because we have the Canadian Shield. Hi, Miss Rena.
Yeah, it's a full house tonight. I had to jump on mobile because my computer hates my guts. Anyway, speaking of which, I'll need one of you guys to help me test the audio later.
Yeah. Welcome to the House of Lords.
You sound fine.
No, on the computer.
Oh, okay.
You know, once the show's over, and I'm not just ready to throw the goddamn thing out the window.
But yes, welcome to the House of Lords, where we discuss matters of great import, refined and elegant interests such as comics.
That's actually two doors down. We shitpost here, son.
No. When you're a commoner, it's shitposting. When you're a nobleman, it's
I think we've gotten off the rails because this all came from playing D&D in a castle. The original point is
the reason I mentioned
I feel like Larry's over there drinking bleach right now.
Probably.
Weren't you supposed to be talking about a night?
The reason I mentioned D&D in a castle is because when you actually look at the numbers for what they're offering, which is basically getting to schmooze with voice actors for a weekend, it is the same business model as the Star Wars Hotel. It is exactly as badly failing. It's the gamer version of the terrible idea.
We've gotten off track of DC not having a presence at San Diego Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing. Is this is a big deal for comic book fans. Yeah. I think because
but they're probably not fronting the comic book because they want the comic book to synergize with the TV and the movies once they get the TV and the movies reset, and they're having trouble resetting the movies because of the continuing Ezra Miller crime spree.
I was going to say, I think this has more to do with the continuing of Ezra Miller crime spree and the Amber Heard publicity. And DC employees just didn't want to have a presence somewhere where all they would get was just backlash from people that didn't like it.
It's not even. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say. Also, remember before COVID, they weren't at San Diego Comic-Con 2 that year or the year before, whichever.
Yeah. What I was going to say is that it's not even actually that they're not just showing up to a con because they refuse cons all the time. It's that they're not showing up to Comic-Con, the big con, the industry con of note. Even if they've done this before, that is still a profound statement when you're coming off of COVID and you need the good publicity.
Also, there are several DC projects that are tied up with J.J. Abrams, and Warner Discovery's looking at breaking their contract with J.J. Abrams. So they don't want to get into situations where they're promoting J.J. Abrams stuff when they're about to fire J.J. Abrams.
Is that because all the stuff out of Secret Hideout is garbage?
Well, that he has a low work rate.
Well, I actually wonder though. It doesn't make sense to me because it seems they would want a presence, especially on the back of $1 billion movie.
So, Church, they have this deal with J.J. Abrams. If they promote his stuff, they have to make it, which means they have to pay for it. And if they have to pay for it, they have to pay J.J. Abrams a percentage off the royalties on that. Or they can not promote J.J. Abrams stuff, not pay to make it, not pay him royalties, and then buy out his contract for less money. And then they can front San Diego Comic-Con with positive news stories, not focusing on how J.J. Abrams is a leech draining everything, how prior DC management has screwed everything up. The only positive story they have right now is that they're going to have a movie coming out starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the National Treasure, that also features Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate.
Well,
The only problem is this is supposed to be part of the old DCEU. You know, if it looks like they're going to end up rebooting everything.
Honestly, Shazam and presumably Shazam and Black Adam will be so far removed from the Justice League continuity that it won't be anything weird to just be able to roll them into
No, they're
whatever
tied
reboot
into
you
the new
start.
Supergirl movie. The problem is the new Supergirl movie and Batgirl movie are tied into the Flash movie starring Ezra, the human crime
But if
wave.
they fire J.J. Abrams, there won't be a Supergirl or Batgirl
No,
movie.
Supergirl and Batgirl aren't connected to J.J. Abrams. They're being made by other people on the lot.
Here's the thing, guys.
Okay, that's even worse, though.
Here's the thing. We have to look at the mouse for just a moment. All right. Now the mouse bought in, but when you look at the Marvel model that everyone's trying to copy, because they did their groundwork, because it took 10 years to get to where they're at now, so they could then fuck it up. The pyramid doesn't rely on any one specific piece, which is why Thor could make a bad movie, and everyone was like, okay, Thor kind of sucks, but Iron Man, Captain America, and other were excellent, and you could just keep coasting on how good they are. Okay? A lot of people are pro Schneider for various reasons. But when you actually look at it, when you actually take a step back and look at it logically with no rose tinted goggles, okay? Zack Schneider made a house of sand. All right, it doesn't have any of the groundwork. It's entirely dependent on each and every film making the landing, and without key directors, whichever key directors it is, it falls apart. As illustrated when they tried to pull out Zack and plug in Joss, like two directors are the same thing. Okay, it doesn't work, and it's not gonna work, and that's why the Warner Brothers cinematic universe is collapsing in on itself, is because they don't have the talent, because they didn't take the time to do it right the first time. Amber Heard and Ezra Miller are just symptomatic of weaknesses built into their universe. Because, I mean, no one could have predicted that two of their major stars in their films would lose their freaking minds. That was not predictable, but they also didn't plan for a disaster.
And they didn't have plan for their Batman quitting either.
Except for the fact that Ezra Miller was accused of sexual impropriety with children before he was cast.
When you say they're Batman quitting, are you talking about Ben Affleck, or are you talking about Bale?
Ben Affleck.
Okay, well, we know why Ben Affleck quit. It's because they wouldn't give him what he wanted, and he was smart enough to have an out clause.
I thought they gave him a lot of rope.
Well, no. What Ben Affleck wanted, that they kept undermining to do Zack Snyder's Justice League, among other things, was a Batfleck primary film where he would be both Batfleck and director. And they would not let him direct, even though Ben Affleck has a actual qualitative stable of films that he has directed.
And also, they wouldn't let
Didn't he direct Elektra?
No.
Oh, thank God.
He didn't direct Elektra. He did star in Daredevil, but the fact that Jennifer Garner was in it, the fact that it had all of its terrible design decisions were, again, not his choice at the time.
Yeah, I don't think he did a bad choice as Daredevil. I don't think he was too bad as Daredevil.
Oh, no. Affleck as Daredevil was great. The story for Daredevil was shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, Larry.
The Batfleck movie, part of it going into production hell and then imploding, was one of the contributing factors to Ben's resumption of alcoholism.
Don't be a tattletale.
I mean, he said that was one of his contributing factors to his return to alcohol.
Not you guys, my daughters.
Well, the thing is that Ben Affleck has as a person, has a life of tragedy. Because not only has he been Daredevil, and that didn't work out, okay? And not only was he Batman, and that didn't work out, but there was a really great movie in between that people might not have seen. Did you know that Ben Affleck has been Superman?
Mm-hmm.
Because he played George Reeves in a period drama.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. and he was great. And it was.
I'd play with George Reeves, but it's not gay month anymore, and it's illegal now.
Dude, don't joke about George Reeves.
I will joke about whatever I want.
Dude, that's the first Superman, and he committed suicide. That's very
actually,
fuck! I was thinking Christopher Reeves. Holy shit! My bad.
You can check Christopher Reeves.
Fuck! I totally didn't. I got the wrong person in that one. That is my bad.
What's up, Ross?
You're wrong. George Reeves was not the first Superman. There was one before in the serials. The Superman serial.
No, I can believe that. But he's the one that people remember.
Yeah,
he's
true,
the big name.
The Adventures of Superman.
Yeah. So I will cop to my lack of knowledge, but
real quick,
if you want to molest Christopher Reeves, I mean, he's dead, but he won't complain. He can't feel it anyway.
That's fine. I just want to say I'm going to admonish myself, Lord. I apologize, and please be with the starving pygmies in New Guinea. Okay. Amen.
Yeah. Please cleanse me in your baby batter of truth.
Yeah,
he's not going to do that. I talked to him.
So
nobody's gonna do that.
I got a good segue for that. Who wants to talk about Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe?
Do we have
to? Let's do that.
But Ayrton,
we do, because the anti-wokeness in it is actually powerful.
They did it!
Yeah. So, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe is Beavis and Butthead taking on the multiverse. And they actually took on the multiverse in an intelligent way by making fun of it.
Yeah.
Because Beavis and Butthead from an alternate universe that are basically the Watchers showed up to try to fix the universe that Beavis and Butthead broke.
So in like 6 months we're gonna have the Church of Failure cast from another universe show up and be like, "Hey, you guys broke your universe. Knock this off."
That would actually be fun. We should talk about that off air.
Are you threatening
how we would pull that off?
Are you threatening me?
And the two high points, the two high points of the movie are, of course, the fact that Smart Beavis does score by offering the astronaut lady the ability to see the universe in ways that nobody would ever thought possible, which connects to Beavis' core character trait of being more emotionally literate than Butthead. And he was given an award for scoring by all the Beavises and Buttheads of the multiverse.
Nice.
And Smart Butthead got an award for watching.
Hence why he's a watcher.
There was a 2-minute clip that came out on Twitter, and this is how I'm aware that this is even a thing. And in that 2-minute clip, Beavis and Butthead go through and find out about white privilege in 2020. And they think it's awesome that they have white privilege. Instead of feeling guilty, they look at each other and go, "Wait, we can just get away with anything? That's awesome."
We have white privilege.
But no, they find out they have white privilege and they're fucking stoked about it. And they go out and just start raising hell and telling everybody it's fine. I'm a dude. I'm white.
And then they find out
that's a cop car.
It's not a thing.
But yeah, it shows the absurdity of the idea of white privilege existing.
The other core element I really like is it focused on the concept of the multiverse that even the smartest possible Beavis and Butthead are kind of dumbasses. Because they thought they had to use Beavis and Butthead to solve the problem of the multiverse, when in actuality, a brick probably would have worked.
Yeah. I mean, a monkey with a typewriter would eventually come up with the same nonsense they spew. But
Beavis and Butthead go to the house that they lived in, and the realtor tries to talk to Beavis about his mother, but he's much more interested in the garbage disposal.
I'm surprised he didn't find out if there was a TV that worked and just sit down and start watching music videos, or find out that MTV no longer shows music videos.
Hey, does he get together with AOC in that?
No, they didn't tie that in. But yeah, so Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, I recommend it. It's not as
Did you watch it?
funny. I did.
Okay.
I had a
We
free
might.
Paramount Plus.
Well, I do not have Paramount Plus, but I think I might take a trip to the high seas and find it.
What would you do with the drunken sailor? What do you do with the drunken sailor? What do you
Find
do with the
illegal
drunken
movies
sailor?
online. Find illegal movies online.
Early in the morning.
So that
Give your computer some cancer AIDS. Give your computer some cancer AIDS. Give your computer some cancer AIDS early in the morning.
I'm going to segue away from something good to something just okay, which is the Orville, because the Orville decided to
Masturbate with the captain's daughter. Masturbate with the captain's daughter.
With the captain's daughter early in the morning.
The Orville decided to do their own take on the 2016 and 2020 election.
So real quick, can I say I fucking hate the Orville?
I think you mentioned that last time.
Okay. I'm gonna mention it again.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Let me finish. So my ex, when that first came out, she was like, "Oh, somebody told me we should watch this." It's kind of like Firefly, which I'm a huge Firefly fan. Hold on, let me finish.
She's fucking stupid.
Let me finish. She was like, "Somebody told me it's like Firefly, but funnier." And then we watched like 2 episodes. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And there's a reason I got a divorce.
Yeah. No. No. Wrong.
No, she's very wrong, and Seth MacFarlane is a hack writer. He's not good.
Well, no.
It's more like it should have been. It's more like Star Trek, but funnier.
No.
It took 3 episodes for the show to catch its wind.
Here's the thing.
But I just want to point out, she is my ex-wife.
Right.
And there's a reason for that.
Here's the thing. Okay, now that I got my rage out, because holy shit, you found a rage button. Jesus Christ.
Rune, I always find your rage button.
It's not.
It's it's in the butthole and up.
No. But as someone who likes the Orville, I'm gonna be very specific here. It's not that the Orville is actually good. Okay? It varies wildly by episode. Okay? Some episodes are amazing. Some of them are bland as shit. Okay?
It's classic sci-fi.
But Seth MacFarlane's a shit writer.
Let me finish. When it tries to be a Seth MacFarlane comedy, it's awful. Okay? When it tries to be Star Trek, it can actually be very good. Okay? The thing is that the reason the Orville has succeeded, the reason the Orville continues to succeed, and the reason that I like the Orville is because compared to the toxic, rancid, fucking retarded shit coming out of Paramount and Secret Hideout called Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, etc. It's a fucking light year of superiority.
Yeah, but Rune, that's like comparing a well-done steak to a dog turd. Of course you're going to like the dog turd more than the well-done steak.
I mean, if you say so. The thing is, and I'm going to make this my last comment before I give the floor back to Larry.
Which is fine, because I have to go pee, so go for it.
This also falls into this trap that I've talked about that is a real problem, where we're letting the media makers drive our expectations so fucking low that bare minimum is seen like genius. Because if we had a good Star Trek series, if we had a good Star Trek alike, like a Bad 5, if there was anything else equal or better out there, we would absolutely look at the Orville and say, "Oh, this is Family Guy in space. It's about half as good." We wouldn't necessarily. Well, we wouldn't necessarily shit can it, but we would actively say there are better things out there, and the fact that there aren't better things out there is the problem.
But there were. Stargate SG-1 existed.
They haven't really made the comedy jokes.
SG-1 hasn't existed for years.
But it did.
Because after SG-1, they decided to do Atlantis, which was a shit show, and then after Atlantis, they decided to do Universe.
No, that never happened.
Universe never happened, did it?
So
I mean, I remember seeing it.
Let me get back to the mediocre stuff with the Orville, because we need that to transition into our trash, our delicious trash serving show.
Okay.
So there were 2 episodes, which were both episodic, but also part of the broader seasonal /series narratives. One, which involves the treaty with the space Klingons, who are half Klingon, half vampire, and it was a take on the 2016-2020 election, but it also had a take on abortion. And it did what the Orville normally does, is it shows the positive angle on both sides' arguments, but also shows how both sides' arguments lead to horrible, awful outcomes. Seth MacFarlane spared one of the Krill alien ladies, and she became the space Trump, basically, of the vampire Klingon planet.
Trumpet.
But they also had a baby together, and they kept the baby secret because she didn't want to have her secret exposed, and he didn't want to risk her murdering the baby. I'm a little concerned because of how deep they went into the political well, but they did it tactfully. The second episode that came out, I was not as happy with, because they went back to the first really interesting thing they did with a transgender allegory about a monoracial race that occasionally has women. There was a baby. The baby got converted against its will, and people were all like, going, this kind of sucks. Well, they circled around, and that baby is now a teenager, had some problems. The crew of the Orville severely bent the chain of command, but the kid is now a girl and has been gender reassigned. But again, it was done in a way that showed that people who thought that this was wrong had very strong and valid points, and the people who thought that it needed to happen had very strong and valid points. And everybody decided to do the right thing for various reasons. Not all of them were moral reasons.
My groan is boring. I want to do the chaotic thing for my own amusement.
My groan is not about the politics. My groan is about the necessity of having that story. I don't want to watch that story. I want to watch Space Adventures, people.
Yeah, but I mean, they did Space Adventures earlier in the season, and there's going to be Space Adventures after this, but this is their connected story, which is one of the weaker things that they do, is their broader narratives.
Yeah.
They need to be more episodic, like Star Trek was. That's where their better stuff tends to be.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna get some delicious trash.
No, go ahead, Cross.
Oh, I was just gonna say I liked TV back when it was more episodic and not all these overarching, arcs.
Not everything has to be a 12-episode movie.
Yeah.
Well, there is nothing specifically wrong with long arc or long story short arc or interconnected season.
It's just done well.
And if you do too much of it, it becomes grating. You get tired. You can't do it forever.
I mean, it's all kind of fake and gay, and since it's White History Month, we can say that now.
Yeah. Well, the thing too, I think about episodic, you got more episodes. Maybe a lot of it was filler or whatever, but then you got a lot more of the show, and
Well, we also, I can actually say this with surety, we also had TV stars that actually worked for a living. If you actually look at the number of episodes of older series, a given season might be the length of 2 seasons of modern TV, which is roughly between 12 and 10 episodes now. Our actors used to work fucking hard.
First season of the original Star Trek was like close to 30 episodes, and even before that, it was like 50 episodes. It was almost.
Well, that's the thing is I recently bought for my mother the Rockford Files, and it's 5 seasons long, and they basically never took a break except when James Garner had hurt himself.
God damn it, Eric. Motherfucker.
We almost had a show.
You gave me this power.
We almost had a
Just
show
saying.
of quality, and then Ayrton showed up and fucked it all up.
Hey, I think I did exceptionally well until Church showed up.
Oh, so is it literally Daddy's here, and now I'm going to throw a fit and be a pain in the ass? Is that what's
Correct.
going on?
Because he said he was just going out for cigarettes, and he took way too long, so I'm acting out.
If you keep acting like this, I'm never coming home.
So
Anyway, sorry, continue.
So Rune, do we want to pour out one for old Ben Kenobi and how they did him dirty?
Do we have to talk about Kenobi?
Yes.
It's over. It's over. We have to do
it's over. It's over for now.
It's not a retrospective. It's a post-mortem.
It's an autopsy. We have to determine who killed him, how he was killed.
Aren't you trying to figure out if it's still alive?
I assemble a crack team of dead
Well,
people.
Well, I mean, here's the question: if it's a zombie, is it a biopsy?
No, because non-binary.
Oh, okay. I'm glad this is the thing you actually have an opinion of and know an answer to.
So
What?
It's not a biopsy; it's a triopsy.
And Rune, I have opinions, just most of them we can't say on YouTube without getting banned.
So Mr. Rune, you want to open up with your anal cyst?
Analysis.
God damn it! You just made me spit my vape across the room.
Shit's gay and it's all fucked up, and the people who did this should feel ashamed of themselves. And
No, but Rune, it came out during Gay Month, so it's okay.
So
You think that was by design?
Yes.
They had to bring it out because they had an empty slot in their schedule, and they've been ruining this since it was originally supposed to be a movie. So there are several problems with the show, and the biggest
You
problem
mean
being,
its existence?
No, you could have done something with this show. Problem.
No,
They didn't know what to do with
you could have done something with the idea, but the existence of what they did is dog shit.
If we're actually going to talk about this, let's do this correctly. No, what you could have done is the film that was originally planned 20 years ago. Okay? After Phantom Menace, after Attack of the Clones, after Revenge of the Sith, there were plans on the board for a George Lucas-led Obi-Wan film that was in development hell for decades.
Fucking Rune, I'm old. I was sitting here thinking, what the fuck is he talking about? Those movies didn't come out 20 years ago. That was just a... Oh,
no,
fuck,
those
that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Church, we both have gray in our beards. Those movies came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck my life.
Are you sure? Hey, Church, you starting to feel old?
He's gonna stab
What
you,
now?
Dude,
What'd you say? I'm sorry, I'm having an existential crisis.
Dude, I have a white patch, and it's right in the middle of my mustache, so it looks like I'm a really old Hitler.
I mean, you're not.
I'm not even kidding.
I'm getting a Jack Murphy stripe on. I'm getting a Jack Murphy stripe on either side of my beard.
Instead
that
of the,
sucks. Just don't let dudes have sex with your wife.
Instead of the Doc
Yeah,
Strange,
I don't plan to.
Instead
Okay.
of the Doc Strange, I'm getting the frosted mutton chops.
God damn it!
Anyway, Obi-Wan.
You lucky bastard.
But
what about this movie, Rune? Talk about this movie. What was it? Because nobody else. No, the movie that TV show should have been.
What it was going to be, when you boil it down, is Obi-Wan by way of Lawrence of Arabia. Obi-Wan adventuring and learning about himself on Tatooine. Okay, that is the theory of what was going to theoretically get made. Okay, desert adventure with a Jedi. Great. And it got transmuted into this false Obi-Wan TV series, which was really a 6-hour movie cut into episodes, right? So
because this was a movie that was originally pitched by Kathleen Kennedy back before Disney Plus became a thing.
So they could stealth sell us on, instead, the rise and origin of a very special, empowered black woman who's going to get redeemed from her toxic masculinity and save Jedi children she was going to murder.
Conveniently killed off before
the Jedi child she was going to murder. The Jedi child she was going to murder because she was trying to get revenge for the Jedi children that got murdered by Anakin. That Obi-Wan didn't stop because he was on another planet riding a frilled lizard.
Here's the thing: if she's so important and they're giving her a rise to prominence, then they somehow have to figure out in canon how and why she conveniently dies before Luke comes of age and Obi-Wan has to save his ass anyway.
I mean, it has to be the same. It has to be the same shit for why we don't care about Ahsoka being existent, and yet she does when she shouldn't.
Well, no, but the nature of the creation of writing themselves into this corner is they have to prove somehow this empowered African American Jedi lady is still not up to snuff, and Ben Kenobi outlives her.
Well, the galaxy is a big place. They can actually say that she doesn't die. She's off doing other adventures, other places.
No, they can't because then they've written themselves into the corner because there's no more Jedi.
No, they'll do it anyway. They'll do it anyway.
Well,
there's a bigger corner they painted themselves into. Her whole plot was to kidnap Leia because she knew Leia had a connection to Obi-Wan, but if she knew that Leia was Bail Organa's daughter, she had no way of knowing that Bail Organa had a connection to Obi-Wan unless she saw Revenge of the Sith and watched the final scene of the movie.
Right, in the future.
The thing is that everybody is really stuck up on continuity errors and the absolute travesty of Obi-Wan is actually an old man plus a small child in a jacket and no one noticed, and not addressing the actual technical flaws of this film, which Larry and I have talked about because Larry actually pointed them out. Is the cinematography is ass, the blocking is terrible, the
fight choreography is ass.
The choreography is terrible. The actual visuals are washed out and pretty terrible. And I am the only person I will repeatedly mention. Ayrton, was mentioning Hema earlier. I'm sorry, the villainess's sword work is fucking abysmal. I fight better than her, and I'm a goddamn cripple.
What they used to do is they used to have people who would look at the dailies and say, "Well, this looks bad. We need to reshoot it." Those people don't work.
Here's the problem with that. Well, here's the problem though with Rune's analysis of that, because here's the thing: even without having seen it, the things you've said to me as a Star Wars fan have put into my head, okay, I've already picked out at least 4 continuity errors just based on the fact that this character exists.
Well, hold up, Church.
You
don't even have to worry about the broader continuity errors because it has continuity errors with its own show.
No, let me. Even without knowing that, though, as a fan of the series, hearing about any part of this makes my brain hurt.
The biggest.
That's why it's more of a problem to me. It could be a good story and shot like shit, and I would watch it. I loved Power Rangers growing up, for fuck's sake.
Look, the biggest problem, above all other problems, if we're going to talk about continuity, with this show, is when they decided to have the characters be of a given age. It's 8 years after the start. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that is both too early and too late.
It's both fake and gay.
Exactly.
But it came out in June, which is gay month, and I'm pretty sure everybody is legally required to be gay during June.
Well,
I didn't wear socks all month.
Here's the trick of it. there is nothing wrong with the concept that before episode 3, Obi-Wan had to go on some adventures to do some good guying. Okay?
You mean episode 4?
Episode 4. There's no problem with that. Right? Not really.
Why do you keep putting that up?
Sorry,
Put it up already.
Sorry, I clicked it by accident.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Chad. The Grand Inquisitor was just there for the fan bucks. But the other the problem is that he can't be going on adventures at that time with those children at that age. If it had been, it's less than a year or a year after Revenge of the Sith, okay, and a baby Leia was kidnapped by people, and Bail Organa says, "Hey, Obi-Wan, I need you to come save my daughter." Solid, right?
Well, no, I actually disagree.
No. Let me finish.
Okay,
let him finish.
It's solid.
Okay.
It's solid because Leia is not old enough at that age to recognize or be involved in what is going on around her. She's a baby, right? But by having her be a 7-year-old that's supposed to be a 10-year-old, right? Yeah, because a 7-year-old is playing a 10-year-old.
7.
It's like, okay, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You were kidnapped at age 10 by bad guys for some reason, and you were held in a Sith facility where they questioned you about your ties to the rebels. And then 10 years later, you're running around as Leia Organa princess, and you're not in some penal colony somewhere, and you just happen to run into Darth Vader and not know a bunch of things. It's like, no, a child Leia doesn't work. Okay? And then it's like, okay, so let me get this straight. Within the course of another 10 years, Obi-Wan is going to degenerate from the young man he is now to Alec Guinness. Not that Alec Guinness was bad, but Alex Guinness is a much older man than the time increment they've given.
Actually, he's not. The time frame kind of works out.
He looks it. How's that?
He looks a lot older,
Well, his life on Tatooine could have been harder, and that's aged him.
He could have started smoking space meth, Rune.
No. See, that would work. That's the thing. Is Larry and I were talking earlier about this idea of committing to the bit and being unwilling to commit to the bit.
Maybe he went on a ground binge.
If you told me we're gonna pick up Obi-Wan's story 7 years later, right? And instead of being a sad man who works at a factory cutting up fish, you told me Obi-Wan has been laying a drug den in Sensate on space meth. That I could actually believe. I could go with that.
Well,
okay, so
yeah, but I couldn't see Obi-Wan doing that. The biggest problem I have, I don't have a problem with the continuity error that Leia says in A New Hope, like, you served my father in the Clone War, because he was going by Ben at the time, not Obi-Wan, right?
Right.
So if they would have,
he would have been in the show.
Right.
And he also was Obi-Wan in the show.
So, well, if they would have kept him as Ben, and they're two separate people, the biggest problem I have is his lack of connection to the Force. He keeps saying, like, oh, I need to protect Luke and train him when he's old enough, right? But he doesn't sit there and, like, do Jedi training shit in the desert. He buries his lightsaber. If he would have if we would have got shots of him, like, meditating, doing Jedi shit, like, beforehand, and he was just going by Ben as a different...
To make The Last Jedi make sense.
Right. But let me finish.
Yeah. No, that's true.
If he was doing all of that, and then that first meeting with Vader where they fight and the fire and bullshit and the droid saves him, which is a retarded scene, but if they would have shown him, like, still training and keeping up on his skills and Vader just caught him off guard because he's stronger, because he has a mechanical body and has been training in the dark side, and he wasn't ready for it, that would have made 1,000 times more sense than what they showed us.
Right, but
Right?
here's the thing, Ayrton. They have to do a plot about baby Leia. They have to do a plot about fake Jedi.
Well, they could have done the same plot.
No,
okay.
wait. I'm not done.
Okay, all
They also have to do a plot about other guy who's starting the rebellion.
No,
It's like guy
wait,
number
wait,
5
wait,
and
wait.
6 who's starting the rebellion.
Let's
They also had to do the plot about Reva. They also
let
had
us
to do the
let
plot
us
about
take a minute.
Anakin. They also
Let
have
us
to
take
do
a
the plot
minute
about Vader,
to
who's separate from Anakin.
let us take a minute to recognize what Chad has
my
said.
ass hurts.
Qui-Gon was just trolling Obi-Wan for 10 years in the desert. And as much as people might not like the phoned-in appearance of Liam Neeson at the end of the show, I just want to say, no, that is my internal headcanon, because that is Obi-Wan's personality, or that is Qui-Gon's personality. He literally was like, oh, I could have dropped in at any time, but, I wanted you to figure shit out for yourself, because, you kind of suck.
But this is the problem. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. Gunslinger, like Old West Obi-Wan, like being Ben with like the gun and doing shit. That was cool. He's trying to hide his identity, not show that he's a Jedi, but still kind of use the Force to like shoot stormtroopers in the face. If they would have expanded on that and expanded on the fact that he's still training and staying on top of his skill as a Jedi Master, but then running into Darth Vader in that one episode, which is so stupid. But he's caught off guard by Vader's increased strength and all this stuff, and doesn't realize Anakin survived being burned alive on Mustafar. That would have been such a more compelling story, where he's sitting there going, shit! Wait a second, what am I doing? I need to train harder so I can protect Luke. That would have been such a better story than what we got.
It would have, but see, hold on. Here's the problem with that, Ayrton. They gave us that story. It was called The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, but Eric wants to have like a good story.
Oh my god!
Dude, I can actually. The problem is I can actually write, unlike these fucking hacks who have 12-inch dildos shoved up their ass, going like, "Yes, please, govern me hard, govern me harder, Daddy."
I want to take your brains into the realm of what could have been and how great it could have been. Okay.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Hold on. Let me go get one of my guns. I'm gonna Kurt Cobain myself at the end of this.
Instead of putting the Mandalorian in the post-rebellion era, you put the Mandalorian in the in-between era, right? You run the show as is, and in the last episode of season 2, instead of Pedro Pascal when he takes the helmet off,
hey, baby,
right?
You have to shoot me with a shotgun.
It's Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor becomes a Mandalorian to hide out in the first part of his period of exile. That would have been fucking brilliant. I would have been like, woo! I don't care how stupid it is. That would have been great.
All right. Hey,
I'm just saying, they gave us the exact story that Ayrton picked out.
Go dye your hair blonde and go grab my shotgun and go shoot me real quick.
But he, the story he laid out was the story of the Mandalorian, and they couldn't do that again. But the thing is we don't. Why do we need the Obi-Wan story to introduce this new character? Why not just introduce this new character in a completely original story?
Because nobody will actually watch that. Look at Miss Marvel for more proof.
We watched the fucking Mandalorian.
No. See, here's the thing, though, Church.
Now, real quick, because it's not gay month anymore. Can we just say Star Wars is gay?
Well, I mean, that's what Kathleen.
No. Star Wars is trans now.
Oh,
anyway,
my bad. Star Wars is non-binary.
Yeah,
I apologize.
But no, Church. Here's the thing, though.
Star Wars is transitioning into something we don't want to watch.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But Church, the thing is
that should I go put on a drag costume?
Let him finish.
Sorry. The Mandalorian is from an objective standpoint not an original work, not because it copies anything, but because it relies on our fan interest in Mandalore, Mandalorians, Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars The Clone Wars, and literally Boba Fett to sell a product, and that's that is Disney's primary flaw, because they're doing it in Marvel, they're doing it in Star Wars. They don't have faith in the strength of their own product. They only have faith in the sellability of product that already has an established fan base. Sequels sell
but that's
better.
everything.
Right, sequels sell better than original works, even though what Star Wars desperately needs is qualitative original works in its setting.
All right, Ayrton. Then Larry.
Okay.
Or Larry and then Ayrton if Ayrton
I
doesn't
mean,
come back.
isn't it time for Church's final thought?
Well, we haven't talked
we-
about the cancer yet.
What cancer?
We actually didn't get a chance to talk about the Princess show that Larry really wanted to talk about.
I mean,
yeah.
we did though.
I mean, we did, but we didn't. But okay.
No, we did, because that's as much that was in the Princess show.
Okay.
It was bad.
Okay.
What was it about? I saw a preview for it on Twitter and then promptly blocked it from
It's basically a princess who saves herself by being John McClane, but in a fantasy castle.
And a dress.
Yes, and the villain is not as compelling as Alan Rickman.
Would my daughters enjoy it?
Do your daughters enjoy women being violent for no real reason?
Are they fighting monsters?
No, they're fighting goons.
Oh, no, probably not then.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Larry. Because I said I was going to talk about this. So, first and foremost, my old man had shit taste. My old man had no taste.
I also have shit taste.
No, my old man had literally no taste. If you put anything in front of him and said the words fantasy or sci-fi, he liked it. It didn't matter what the quality was. It didn't matter what it was. And if it had
So you're saying
if
your
it had the
dad
envelope,
lived long enough to see what's happened to Star Wars now.
well, no. Here's the thing: if it was a property he liked, like Star Trek, he liked it no matter what.
Dude,
so my dad is the person who likes Star Trek Discovery.
No, I have I have all 4 movies of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes on DVD.
Right, but those are actually good.
No, they're not. They're terrible.
Well, they're so bad they're good. They fall into the realm of so bad they're good.
Yeah,
like,
no.
I've watched Gay Niggers from Outer Space at least 3 times.
Okay, so first of all, we disavow. This is YouTube.
I mean, that's
it's past 2 hours. We're fine.
Second of all, no. Well, what I'm getting at is that when you look at actually bad things that everyone agrees are actually bad and are not fun to watch, my dad would like them if they were in the realm of sci-fi or fantasy. Okay? And this is pertinent because when I was a kid, okay, my mom used to get me books. And my mom had a propensity for getting me, not necessarily feminist, but kind of everybody's cool girl-leaning text. Okay?
Did she get you tampons too?
No. I'm just saying that I was in high school before I was able to actually, get my own books from the library and read Conan and Drus the Axe and Fritz Lieber and Elric of Melibene and shit that fucking has, murder and blood and guts and eyeballs. But on my shelf still...
eyeballs are fun. Eyeballs are for seeing titties.
On my shelf still, I have the first 3 books of the Forest Chronicles, which is a 1987... what if fairy tales, but a little different kind of book series. And the main character is, tell me if you've heard this one before, a princess who doesn't want to be married off to a dude who wears combat boots. Who
what?
Out of her, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! So original.
Who sneaks out of her castle, runs away to the nearby dragon mountain, and gets quote unquote captured by the dragon, and then spends her time while sorting the dragon's hoard, learning how to do the dragon's taxes, and managing the dragon's household, because dragons actually keep princesses for their stewardship.
Girls, same.
But also sending away the various knights and dipshits who come to save her because she doesn't actually want to get saved.
Oh, if I had a nickel, except they're not dragons, they're Saudi princes.
But here's the thing, it's not an original idea.
And I only let him see my ass and my long hair, so it works.
It's not an original idea. It's not an interesting idea, even though I love that series. Okay? My dad liked Shrek. My dad liked Gallivant, which was Glee in a fantasy land.
I legitimately love the Aragon books, all 4 of them. I think they're terrible. They're derivative, but I enjoy them.
Here's the thing, though. My dad wouldn't have read the books. My dad liked the Aragon movie.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
Can
taste.
Wait. I'm sorry, Joe. Can I say I'm kind of glad your dad? Can I say I'm kind of glad your dad is not around anymore?
My dad.
Is that okay for me to say?
Let me finish.
No,
my dad liked the D&D movie with Damon Wayans. All right.
I mean, in
my
fairness,
old man was scum.
What's the face? Jeffrey Irons was pretty great in that movie.
Oh, he was.
Oh no, he's great, but the movie's terrible compared. I mean, the books are kind of stupid, but I kind of like them because dragons are cool.
But what I'm getting at here,
real quick, Tubernoff said nipple question mark.
Turbo Tef, how drunk are you, Ayrton?
I'm very drunk.
Fighting dragon superior to Aragon.
Hey babe, you want to come show your nipples?
All right. Well, I think that's a great time for Church's final thought. And
let me finish.
Nipple is a great final thought.
Let me finish.
It really is.
And then you can have the stage. What I'm actually getting at, though, okay, is that the princess, which is the name of this stupid series, is meant for my father. He's the guy who would consume this. Okay.
Your dad would consume a princess?
My dad would consume this show. My dad would eat this show up and think that it's so cool, and I would hate it. Before my dad died, he was watching the Puss in Boots animated series, unironically.
Perfect joke, and Joe just no sells it. This is what I'm working with, people. I have no audience.
That's okay, Church. I would eat up a princess.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you wouldn't eat her up. You'd eat her out.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna do that too, but I'm gonna work my way up.
So this show that Larry's describing, which is basically Disenchantment but live action, is insultingly bad.
Because the main character in Disenchantment is a horrible person. This character is just bland.
No,
they
Larry,
don't
you
even
just
have any
described
unredeeming qualities.
But Larry, you just described that apparently they are insanely violent to men for no reason.
By
they are
the Canadian Shield 2.
By the Canadian Shield
yes.
2.
To be fair, I stopped listening like 30 minutes ago.
You guys are just never going to let me in the show, are you?
No.
This is why you can't be late, Church. Things like this happen.
You fucker! I had to do all of the work. I had to do with the producing pull-up shit. I just wanted to sit here and drink beer and talk shit like every week. But no, you had to have kids and celebrate the 4th of July and make them have a good night.
Hey, in all seriousness, all real seriousness, Ayrton did a great job without you, Church. He was actually really great.
What?
He was on point. He did his job well. Everything was cool.
Wait, hold on, Rune. Let me get my cock out so you can pet it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Good night, everybody.
Yes, I had to multiply myself to bring law and order. Sometimes it requires 2 churches. Anyway, moral of the story. Buy the Canadian Shield 2.
Moral of the story, don't come on the show.
Basically. Buy the Canadian Shield 2. Don't watch Obi-Wan. Definitely don't watch The Princess. DC's not going anywhere except down, and Ezra Miller's insane.
I'm still confused. What is The Princess? I didn't hear about that.
It's
a Hulu series. Larry talked about it briefly in the group chat. But anyway, get us out of here.
I thought it was a TV series. I thought we were going to put up with more of it.
Oh, okay. Good night, everybody.
Night.